What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex, you and you're watching Ragin Nation Toy Show. This is just a web series where we're talking about toys and collectibles that matter to me. This is episode number 36. And in the previous episode, I talked about what Hasbro revealed at their booth during Toy Fair 2019. And they showed off a whole bunch of new products, especially from the Studio Series. But what caught my mind in the Studio Series was this Constructicon named Hightower. Now, what really makes this Constructicon interesting out of the rest of them is that I'd never actually seen him in a robot mode, and the only time I saw him in a robot mode was in concept art. And I'm just gonna go over here and grab this. This is from the movie Advance line, or otherwise, it was also known as the Easy Collection. This is the Devastator. And we get to see Hightower. We get Hightower. I never opened this one yet. I plan to eventually. But there's Hightower. And now we have a deluxe class Hightower that's going to be part of the Studio Series. And then he's just got this really weird robot mode, but it's got a pretty decent a vehicle mode. It's a construction vehicle. There's this giant crane with a claw at the end of it. And that's pretty cool. So essentially Devastator is made up of a whole bunch of random construction vehicles, which he is. That's what he's supposed to be, like in G1. But I didn't expect his robot mode to look so bizarre. It's just really bizarre. But still, I'm happy to have that part of the collection, especially knowing that he's going to be making up a larger giant emerged, or rather combiner, of course, that is known as Devastator, who we saw in Revenge of the Fallen. But before I talk about that, let's just talk about some new images from Dengeki Hobby. They revealed some new images for more Studio Series characters, such as Shatter, which looks great. It's going to complement Dropkick really well. Great looking vehicle mode. And then here is Optimus Prime. This is a really good pose. I really like how they posed him. Looks very cool. There's his vehicle mode. And then there's Cogman, which is a more screen accurate paint job. Of course, it's not screen accurate because it doesn't actually turn into an Aston Martin. He does drive one, however. But this one is more, the colors are more accurate when compared to the Last Night version. But we're going to do a comparison of the two, see which one I like better. Here he is raising his sword, and here's the Aston Martin. Now that's more accurate because the Last Night version is just like painted light gray. This one is more silver, so that's good. And now here's another Constructicon. I believe this is scrap metal. Which actually looks like Scavenger in the vehicle mode, which is like, the giant arm construction vehicle. But then his robot mode is just totally bizarre. Like I've never even seen this in concept art, and of course we never actually see this guy in the actual Revenge of the Fallen movie, as far as I know. We just get to see the actual vehicle mode. But this is the first time we're actually seeing the fact that it's showing off its third combiner mode. I mean, I wouldn't actually say it's a third mode. It's a combiner mode, okay, and which makes up the left hand of or forearm of Devastator. And now let's take a look at Rampage. Rampage, very screen accurate. After all, that's what the Studio Series is supposed to be. It's a screen accurate version of the character as he was shown in Transformers Last Night. And his robot mode is way more screen accurate compared to what he was as a deluxe mode in the 2009 Revenge of the Fallen toy line, which had 4 legs and it was yellow, and then they made the Japanese version, which was red. Now we actually get the actual version from the Studio Series where he's a Pogocon. And what I mean by that is just got 1 leg and he just bounces around before he fights Bumblebee. And here's another look at him. It's a pretty good looking robot. I mean, it's screen accurate. I know it looks weird, but I actually like the look of it. And then he actually makes up the left leg of Devastator. And that's what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about Devastator because recently this image was leaked on Chinese social media, and it shows that the Studio Series is Constructicons are actually going to make up a giant Devastator. Now, of course, we had Devastator in G1, and then there's Devastator in the Combiner Wars. But they've always been 6 pieces, just like they originally were. And then, of course, Devastator has had another version of itself for the Revenge of the Fallen line, which is like the Giant Devastator, but it's made up of 6 Constructicons, okay? And those 6 Constructicons were Scavenger, which made up the torso, Mixmaster, which made up the head scrapper, made the right arm, Hightower made the left arm, Longhaul, which made the right leg, and Rampage, which made like the left foot / leg. And it was just 6 pieces. But those toys never actually transform into robot modes. They had no robot modes. They just had vehicle modes, which when you move them around, they can go into the combiner modes and then eventually form the giant Devastator, right? And it looked a little bit ridiculous. Like the proportion wise, it was not right, and it was just very bulky. But now we have an actual Studio Series version, which is way more screen accurate. Now I thought this was screen accurate, but it still looks weird. Like when you really look at this, it does look weird, but I like it. I like the paint job. I like the fact that it's 7 pieces as opposed to 6, and that was Overload, Mixmaster, Rampage, Scavenger, Scrapper, Long Haul, and Hightower. So that's the other time we get Hightower as a like with a full-on transformable robot mode. And then there's Decepticon Overload, which we never actually got in the the larger Hasbro version. And they call him Scavenger as opposed to Demolisher, which was the Voyager class, which is the weirdest looking one of them all. But anyways, finally we're getting a like a screen accurate version. And I was always confused with in Revenge of the Fallen how many actual Constructicons that made up Devastator. And it was really odd to me because there was always in Revenge of the Fallen, there was always those Constructicon clones, which were essentially Decepticon drones. They were just all over the battlefield in Egypt. So some of them were part of Devastator, and the rest of them were fighting in the battlefield. So it was just really weird to me, and just got me really confused because in some cases I thought there was only 6 combiners for Devastator, and then in other cases some people said 7, then 8, then 9. So I was never really sure how many there actually are. But now we have the Studio Series, which is of course supposed to be screen accurate, and now we end up with 8 actual pieces for the combiner. So from the top we got Scavenger, which makes up the back. We got Hightower, which makes up his left arm. Mixmaster, which makes up the head. Overload, which makes up the lower torso and part of his body, upper body. Scrapper, which makes up his entire right arm and hand. And Long Haul, which makes up the right leg. Rampage, which makes up the left leg, and then Scrap Metal. Now he's the new guy, Scrap Metal, which makes up the left forearm and hand. So Hightower and Scrap Metal actually are 2 pieces that make up his whole arm, and then Scrapper just makes up the entire right arm. So 3 pieces make up the arms, 3 pieces make up the body plus head, and 2 pieces make up the legs. So we got 3, 3, and 2. That's 8 pieces in total. And Scrap Metal is the one that I've never seen before. He's the one he's kind of the odd one out. We've never actually seen him in other iterations of Devastator, and so he's the new guy. I definitely don't remember seeing his robot mode ever in the movie. I don't even recognize it in any concept art. But anyways, there you have it. 8 Constructicons. This is supposed to be the accurate version, and I'm really curious to see what they're all going to be like when combined as a toy, because this is only a CG rendering. I want to see the actual thing like on display, like in front of me, in hand. That would be very, very cool. But we have yet to see the actual toys of Scrapper, Overload, Mixmaster, and Scavenger. They have yet to reveal that. They say it's coming soon. We will see it shortly. But I'm just actually really curious how the robot modes are going to look like. Like they are, we've seen, these guys in, like this, but I want to see what they look like in the full size. So that's going to be really cool. So anyways, what do you guys think of Devastator? What do you guys think of a Studio Series Devastator? There's going to be 8 of them, which is kind of a gimmick because it's not just 6 guys. You have to buy 8 guys in total, which, you're not going to just buy 3 or 4. If you're going to buy 3 or 4, you might as well buy the other ones, right? Because you have to make up that combiner, and unless you really just don't like this design. But, it is what it is. This is Michael Bay's Transformer and Transformers designs, and, that's Devastator, and he's part of Transformers history. So if you want to own that piece of history, this is the best version. Not this version, not the 6-piece version, it's this version, the Studio Series. And it's going to be a mix of Voyagers and Deluxes. I don't know about Leaders, but definitely Voyagers and Deluxes for sure. So there you have it. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about this Devastator? Are you looking to get them all? Like, are you looking to collect all 8 of them? It's going to be pretty pricey when all added up, but we shall see. I wonder if Takara is going to come up with a giant big box set so you don't have to buy them all individually. I wonder if they're going to do that because they have done that before. Anyways, that's all I got to say in this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, if you did enjoy it, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.